Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Shobocast with me, Paul.
Me, Dan.
I'm Cameron.
I had a thing of pizza, I forgot.
Oh, it was almost seamless.
I'm Dan.
This is our last
also
ever
Dan.
episode. 10 episodes, that's all of it, complete. Season 1 done, in the bag.
I took a big bite of food then, and I was like, oh wait, no, I've got to say my name in like 5 seconds.
Say my name, say my name. Haha.
Very good.
I didn't get the reference. Is it
It's
a
a
song?
song. It's from the Three Doctors, which is what we're talking about.
How's everyone's week's been?
Delightful.
Terrible.
Oh, what's wrong?
Remember last week when we were recording, I dropped my phone?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of days later, I was in my room until 11 at night, and then I thought, I'll go down, watch a bit of telly. I walked into the kitchen, dropped my phone, and it smashed. And it's cost me 250 quid to get it fixed.
You had a COVID test as well.
Moron. What?
Oh yeah, I got a COVID test, and I wish it came back positive now, because that phone thing really did kick me in the bollocks. If it came back positive and I still smashed my phone, the phone would still be worse.
I've not had a great week either, if I'm honest. Uni started again, and it's a
Uni
absolute
fucking messed me about.
fucking nightmare.
I bet it is.
Utter nightmare.
Got any
It's-
face-to-face ones?
Yeah, there's like a few of the workshops are face to face, but
We were scheduled for some, and then I think it was like a Wednesday or something. They went, ha, no, and then just everything's online now for the entire semester, probably the entire year. What a waste.
yeah, the issue is the timetable has been an absolute shit show.
Oh,
I still
when
don't.
did you get it?
I haven't got the full thing yet.
Fucking hell.
I've done the first week of uni.
Oh,
I've had to actually like go through like hundreds of emails and like different websites and stuff, and piece together my own timetable, which I've got up there
Jeez.
on the wall.
It
Yeah.
could be worse. You could be having to self-isolate, like a lot of the Glasgow one is, isn't it?
Yeah, the Glasgow one, and also the posh student accommodation here at Edinburgh is isolating as well.
But they can go fuck themselves because they're the
Yeah.
posh bastards.
Yeah, all the Yars in Pollock, they can go fuck themselves.
Cameron, how's your week been?
Same as normal, really. I've been watching Sarah Jane all week. I've got like halfway
so
through
it's
the
been
last
great,
episode.
then.
I had to go record this.
Sarah Jane's that girl, you know, down the road, isn't she? Didn't she get a restraining order on you to stop watching her?
For God's sake.
If they didn't want me watching, they wouldn't have the tree in the back garden still.
It's Amazon's fault for making the drone so cheap.
they shouldn't have made. They shouldn't have made the cat flaps so big.
It's not my fault they have primitive locks on the doors. Oh,
I do have a lot.
if honestly, I think we can all agree Sarah Jane is good enough that if you want to go and carry on watching it, we wouldn't mind. You can just piss off if you want.
Yeah.
We'd understand.
I've got. Speaking of lockpicking, please cut this. I've got a lockpicking gun.
This will not be cut.
I'm keeping this
Of
in.
course you do, Cameron. That's how you got in.
I have a proper like pick that as well somewhere, but I don't know where it is, which is a bit off-putting. But yeah. So
that's
how has
nice.
your week been, Dan?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great content.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
And you're welcome.
Thank
And
you
you're
for
welcome.
listening.
That is the end of
That's everything. Bye. Oh crap! Me mini eggs.
your mini eggs.
Yeah.
Your
This
mini
time of
eggs
year.
in almost October.
Oh yeah, I should probably update you. I've finished that 3 kilograms of Smarties I had last week.
I
Fucking
still have
hell.
some of my 3 kilograms of mini eggs, but
me and my flatmate, we absolutely demolished them. They are gone. Anyway, should we move? Should we get move on? Anything else to say?
Oh, I
Um,
should.
Um,
Sorry, I completely forgot because I was doing a funny. I have actually got up to
Oh.
stuff this week. I made a theme tune for. You know how last week we talked about Bug Hunt.
oh
The
yeah,
audio, yeah.
with Helen Mirren.
The yes, with the Wirren controlled by Helen Mirren. And they did their third episode is out now. It's called Retrieval of the Daleks.
Oh, I need to go and listen to
The
that.
Dalek voices are really good. And the theme tune's pretty fine, if I do say so myself. It
Did
turned
you
Oh,
out,
like it by any chance, Dan?
considering I did it in one night, it turned out quite well. So go listen to that, you turds. And do you want to crack on with the news, Dan?
Should we
Go on.
crack on with the news, Dan? I think we should crack on with the news. What about you?
Go on. Let's play the theme.
Theme tune. The news. Okay, first of all, because Paul insisted. Paul kept insisting this was in fact news. So I've put it in. The Dalek Protocol has got a cover. This isn't news. Are you
What
happy
is
now,
this?
Paul?
I don't remember this.
You kept putting it in the group chat, and you kept insisting that this was news.
I remember saying
The
it, but I
thing
don't
we've already-
know.
That there's now a picture for a thing we've already discussed.
It's the Tom Baker thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this isn't news,
Oh,
and
the-
I'm moving on.
it is a
news.
nice cover though, isn't it?
It's,
Is this
it's
the
all right.
the news
Looks
that?
very nice.
Yeah, cover that. That is news.
Yeah,
It's got a
that
cover. It's got a cover. That's it.
No, the Tom Baker thing.
It's our recurring segment. Cover that cover, where we
Wait,
cover
do
the
you
new Big Finish cover of the week.
I've got
Wait, Dan,
mud
do you
on my
mean
leg.
do you mean the fossil?
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
not
I
that
didn't-
old.
I didn't.
Bit mean.
Well, I didn't have that in the news, but I would rather discuss that over the Dalek Protocol having a cover.
Do it then.
Okay, do you want to discuss it?
Yeah.
Tom Baker had a fossil named after him. What
So
do you
they
think about that?
found
were
Tom
you not
Baker's
going to include
fossil.
that in the news?
No,
I told
'Cause-
you specifically to include that.
it's not Doctor Who news. I don't think.
It's
you
Tom
shared it
Baker
twice.
news. If Tom
I know,
Baker died,
and
would
I-
that not be Doctor Who news?
That would be Doctor Who news. Cameron,
So is
I
this
ignored
then?
it twice.
Wow. Wow. Unbelievable.
What can I say? You can't predict me. Do we have anything to say about the fact Tom Baker had a fossil named after him?
It's cute.
What
Cool,
fossil
but-
was it, Dan?
I don't know.
Yeah, please read
Well,
out
do
the
your
full name.
research next time.
Oh, would you go fuck yourself next time?
Whoever pronounces
I-
it correctly wins.
I think I'm getting more passive aggressive as the new segment goes
I
on.
love it.
Oh, here's a Daily Mail article about the fossil. First one I could find. I'll be honest,
Why
I would
don't you
have
just
preferred
follow
it.
the link in the news chat?
Because. Shut up.
So it's a trilobite.
Blaming trilobites. Friday night and a reference stuff.
Gravy Calamine. It's the Gravy Calamine Bakery.
Who's listening
That's
to
what it's-
gorillas in the group call? Oh, Dan.
Yeah,
Me.
Dan's got fucking
Do you have gorillas on every time you record?
Spotify on.
I have music on all the time, yeah.
Do you listen to music while we record?
hmm
Alexa, play Brandon.
Does this count as news?
I'd
Um,
count this as news.
Are there any
Uh,
other news?
There is other news. There's some real news that I can get onto if you want.
Yeah.
Go
be good.
for it.
First one, little quick. It's not really little quick. It's just some news. The Winter Paradox, a book of Doctor
Winter
Who.
Time Paradox.
Winter, go fuck yourself. Oh, it is Winter Time Paradox. Oh fuck, I'm sorry.
Everything we know has been
My
alright.
reputation has been shattered.
Like the glass
Um,
ceiling.
Yep, this is a book of Christmas anthology Doctor Who stories written by Dave Rudin. I don't think that's how you pronounce it.
Rudden,
I'm
innit?
come on.
I've never heard.
Origin. Div Origin. Yeah, it's a series of 12 Christmassy Doctor Who stories. Including, I wasn't expecting this, one featuring the Plasmavores from Smith and Jones.
Amazing. Oh my god. I've
I
pre-ordered it.
hope they all have a straw with them. Like, it wasn't just you with an old woman, they all have to stick a straw in, like, the neck.
But it's like a global warming message, so they're all paper straws now. And it just
Nah,
makes it
surely
so
it'd be a
much
metal
more
straw.
difficult. No.
Like, even the
I've got
Plasma Ball
opinions.
uses a metal straw, why can't you?
I mean, I've got opinions about paper and metal straws.
Paper
do
straws
not
are shit,
like
but I
them.
will use them.
Well,
My cat really likes playing with paper straws. So every time I go to the cinema, they give me 2 because in case it like breaks or dissolves or whatever. But
Yeah.
I can use one or just like drink it like a normal cup.
Mhm.
So I bring one home and just let my cat play with it, and she has hours of fun with a paper straw, but not the fucking expensive toys.
So here's the thing. This is great content for a Doctor Who podcast.
Go on.
Here's the thing about plastic straws. So really, they have no effect on the total plastic in the ocean, but they are basically just a thing that big companies and governments can go, look, we've got rid of plastic straws, so we sorted everything out now, so you don't have to like make us do anything for the actual things that are affecting the environment. Like, you get companies getting rid of all the plastic straws, but when it's the real thing that affects ocean plastics is fishing and ocean liners that drop into the ocean, which accounts for 70% of all plastic in the ocean.
But what about all the whales and the turtles and the sea devils?
They're all getting annoyed by the cruises and the fishing that dumps all the plastic in the ocean. Plastic straws account for less than 0.1%. Less than 0.1% is what plastic straws account for. And the second thing is, paper and metal straws make it really, really difficult for disabled people with mobility issues to consume liquids and foods. The real reason, like one of the main reasons we need. What are you doing there? What's this?
Yeah,
What are you doing?
You mentioned sea devils, and this immediately came to your mind. I hate
Isn't
it
that the
so much.
laser or something?
It's just what plays when they come out. Every time they show up on screen, just terrible.
So, in conclusion,
Sorry, disabled people. Go on.
getting rid of plastic straws
Disabled people?
is a way for governments and large corporations to pretend they're doing something about the environment when they're actually not, and fuck over disabled people who can't
Same
eat.
with the putting a pride flag on the logo.
Yeah.
So what
that
you're
really
saying
fucks
is
me off.
it's a way for the government to do nothing but also fuck over disabled people. Isn't that the Tory
Yes.
Party manifesto?
I'll
they
drink
love
to
doing
that.
It is.
Got our country back though, didn't we? We got our country back.
Brexit means Brexit. Get them out.
Gammon.
Britain for
As
the
I once
British.
saw, let's send all of those terrorists to Guatemala Bay.
Guacamole Bay.
Guatemala. It is a holiday
Anyway.
resort in the Caribbean.
Guacamichael Bay. It's just explosions everywhere.
This is a great.
Oh,
Doctor
shall
Who
we get back
Linkin
to the
Park.
news?
Absolute mayhem, as they say.
Chaos.
He's such
Chaos,
a creep.
that's the one.
Has anything to say about the Christmassy Doctor Who stories? Fun time.
I
That's
really
interesting.
like straws. No, I'm joking. I'm very excited for that book. Apparently his other one's really good as well, 12 Weeping Angels. So I might buy that. But I'm going to buy 4 Doctor Who books over the next 3 months. So I'm not going to buy it until I've read them all, because I'm very bad.
Oh, he's also here's the Time Lord Victorious news for this week.
Yeah.
Dave Rudden is also writing a Time Lord Victorious tie-in for the Doctor Who website.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There it is. I snuck it in. We snuck in Time Lord Victorious.
Yeah.
I mean, there is more Time Lord Victoria stuff.
There is actually...
Wait, this week?
I can
Yeah.
think of at least one more, but...
Wait.
Yeah.
What have I missed?
Is it the comic creator?
No.
There's 2 more bits.
That's not news.
I meant the bit about the short story that came out.
Oh, in the newsletter.
Yeah.
Do you want to leave that then?
Not
A
the short story, just the news.
A short story came out as part of the Doctor Who newsletter. It's called The Dawn of Kotara. I may be pronouncing that wrong. If I am, don't care. It looks interesting. You can probably find it online somewhere. It was very, very highly guarded secret of go to this website and put in the password Dark Times, and you can read the story.
Did you see that 99p comic that they released about Brian the Ood? It's a comic creator comic, but you pay 99p for it.
Yeah.
But it's just fucking shit. It's so bad.
Did you buy it?
No. I got it because all someone did was they just screenshotted everything.
One of us
and
is
put it
going to
up on
have
Twitter.
to.
So you can just view it for free anyway.
No, one of us has to buy it.
Who is Brian the Ood?
He's the assassin Ood from Time Lord Victorious.
What is Time Lord Victorious?
What is Time Lord Victorious?
Let me take you back to the summer of 08.
Well,
69.
have we met him yet in anything?
Time Lord Victorious.
Alright, go fuck yourself, Paul.
What's that?
He's not been in anything I've read.
Do you know the bit about the Ood that really rubs my rhubarb the wrong way?
Probably his hands.
Right. Do you know the
You
way
might be using the globe.
they're so keen that it's
Right
a
way.
peaceful species, but every time you see them, they're up to some evil shenanigans. Every time, apart from like the 2-second cameos and like the end of time. But like every episode they're in, they're like the Ood have turned evil again. Like every time we see them,
What are we talking about?
I'm like, oh, shock of shocks, the Ood are evil again.
What?
I know. Anyway, Time Lord Victorious news.
What was the story in the newsletter about?
Oh yeah, the Ood we see on having a shit in Amy and Rory's house isn't evil. That's the one exception.
We don't know. He might block the
That wasn't
toilet.
the answer. That
He
wasn't
did
the
that-
answer to my
I did-
question. But
He
I'm
might
glad
not
you
have wiped
brought it up.
properly. So, I wonder what Ood shit looks like.
Spaghetti.
Blue.
I was thinking that.
So, here is a
Blue
news
Ood
article
spaghetti.
for Dan. There's some new
Hello.
figures coming out.
There
No,
is.
that's my next
That is
story.
news.
Well,
I'm
That's
sorry,
the
we
next story.
I'm
You were
taking
talking
the
about
reins.
ooh shit. I had to change subjects.
Let me.
Well, tell me to.
You were doing that, to be honest, Dan.
Anyway, as I was saying, the next batch of character options, Doctor Who figures, come in October. Like, you want to get them? They're coming
They're mostly
in
shit.
October.
If I'm
There's
honest.
more Time
There's
Lord
nothing.
Victorious
There's
news.
nothing new sculpt wise.
There's not more. There's not more Time Lord Victorious news, Paul.
They announced some new Time Lord Victorious figures as well.
Oh, the Fourth Doctor looks terrible. Have you seen that? The Fourth Doctor looks like the Queen.
They all look terrible.
They
Well,
don't-
no offense,
they all look a
character
bit weird.
options, but they all look bad, except the TARDIS, which looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it's not.
I think the Daleks look good.
The
Yeah,
Daleks
but
always.
Daleks always just
Well,
look the same.
Did you see the photo I took the other day of the Daleks that I found with like the terrible
Graham looks like
paint job?
Fireman Sam. Sorry, I'm looking at the figures. He looks like Fireman Sam.
He does a bit. He does. Yeah. So there's six sets. There's Ryan, Yaz, and Graham.
It's just
we've got
repaints
Sarah
of the
Jane.
last wave, albeit either in different clothing or
Yeah,
different,
they are.
Like,
Well, the Ryan is just like it's the same clothes as the last one, but in different colours.
yeah, same as Graham and. Oh yeah, obviously Graham comes with them instead of the Jadoon. Oh, and bloody, they've taken a Mike Yates and put a moustache on it to pretend that it's someone from Terror of the Zygons. It's bizarre. It's a weird wave. We were honestly, when the email leaked about them, and they might still be coming out as online exclusives or something on the list, everyone was freaking out because there was a Ace and Imperial Dalek due to be released, and a 12th Doctor and Davros. And those were the two
That's
sets
weird.
they were the two sets that everyone cared about, and they're not actually the ones that are happening. So people are a bit miffed.
Would that be the 12? Would it be his outfit in Which Is Familiar?
I'm assuming so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't they
because
already
that's
release that?
they did, but it's like it was really hard to get a hold of.
Yeah.
Because when I was trying to complete all the figures I've got, because I've only really got the all 13 Doctors. I've not got John Hurt. I'm sorry. But when I was trying to get a 12 and a 13, that's the 12 hours after, and it was incredibly hard to get a hold of. It was like 50 quid on some places.
Yeah. The releases around that time were so weird.
Have you heard how they make the figures now? I heard the old method, yeah. Last night or this morning it was. Apparently they used to like look at a picture of the actor and then just try and mould a head that looks like the actor.
Yeah.
But now they do like 3D scans of the actors' heads.
3D scans, and
For, like,
they get a
Jodie and
lot
that.
of like third party like companies and stuff to kind of render the heads and stuff for them, and then they just give them to character options to do whatever with. I can't remember who did the latest.
Can't believe they used to eyeball it, you know.
Whoever did the latest Tom Baker sculpt for the Zygon set that's coming out.
He was blind and stupid, weren't he?
It looks really good. Like the pictures they put up of the renders, it looks amazing, but something went wrong with either the paint application or the sculpting or something, and it just looks
it is
soft.
It's an odd face.
Yeah,
It's
not.
It's weird.
Right.
So if they're doing like the more sophisticated 3D models of the heads, how come they look worse than the ones that came out in like 2006?
It's purely just quality
Which ones
control.
are you talking about here?
Just like some of the facial features, they all look dead
Which
behind
ones,
the
though?
eyes. Huh?
Which figures of who?
All of them.
Of who?
Just in general.
All of the
They,
figures now
Which
look
ones
like
though? Because obviously they're not going to be doing 3D scans of Tom Baker's head.
Well, no,
It's
but
not
even
Paul.
like the Graham one doesn't look like Bradley Walsh. It looks like
yeah.
Fireman Sam.
No,
what I'm
it looks
saying
like a
is when
fucking
Cameron says all of them, they
Stephen
obviously
Mulholland.
haven't. When they release a new fourth Doctor one, they haven't fucking sculpted his head, have they? Like with the 3D scanner, so that would
Yes,
look
but
shit. But like the
this-
Jodie one looks amazing.
The
And
This
Jodie
so
one
does
fourth
doesn't.
Doctor one
The Ryan and Yaz ones look good as well.
looks worse than the
Nah.
one that I've
The
got
new
that came out in the
Ryan one
50th.
looks shit, but the last Ryan one looks good.
The quality control's just all over the place. It always has
Yeah.
been since
I
like,
don't know,
2017.
I would say the face of the Jodie one I've got looks worse than like all the old Doctors I've got. Like I'm looking at a John Pertwee one now, and there's so much detail in that face, and Jodie seems quite like just a smooth and dead behind the eyes.
I do
What
feel like
colour's
they've still
Your
got.
Jodie one?
I feel like they still needed a bit more work on this. I think it looks like Pertwee, but it's something about it's not quite there. Just looking at him now.
My Jodie one's great, to be honest.
Yeah, my Jodie's good. She doesn't stand up properly, but
With mine does stand up. All right,
literally
yeah.
none of my
Which-
female characters stand up properly. I don't know what it is. I
Because
think
they
it's,
can't stand up without a man.
well, it's because they're all bloody B&M ones, so they're a bit cheaper, and the legs are like that leg's longer than the other. My Perry's awful. Don't know why I bought that.
You should have got that modded Perry online.
Oh
You should
God.
have.
Let's move on.
So there's also some Daleks in this line.
Yeah, they're doing the history
One of
set
them-
still.
There's a guest Dalek from the Chase, which looks nothing like the Caves of Megalodos one that you got the other week.
The chase guard. It looks similar. It's basically this with yellow lights and a black base that's thinner.
Yeah, well, the description says it's a
Shit.
guest Dalek from the film,
It isn't.
which would refer it's that one.
Yeah.
But it
But
These
still
were,
looks...
these
not
were
from the film.
these were changed behind the scenes. But
So
And
it's
then-
not actually from the film, because that specific
well, the
Dalek
film
doesn't
came
appear.
before the chase.
No, what I mean is that figure they're releasing next. If you look at that Dalek, it appears nowhere in the film, because they all have thick bases and
Basically,
that.
if you want to know which Daleks are coming out over the next year or so, just look at every Dalek story ever and see which figures they've already done. And
Do you
it'll
not
give
And
you
then
them.
think...
there's
And just
there's a
imagine
flamethrower
that
one
as
as
a
well.
pack.
Do you not think we've got enough Dalek figures?
No.
Because
Oh,
now
so-
they're just like
It means
Now
that
they just
people...
keep going, oh, where's this Dalek that looks exactly the same as
No,
every
it
Dalek
means
in
that
the
people
movies.
that missed out on these things from the Revelation set give it like a year's time, and these will be in a 2-pack together. So
I've got one of them that has lights and sounds.
they're so cool.
Do you know what Dalek I want to
People
see
shit
as
on
a
the
figure?
Necros Dalek, but it's
It's the like Imperial Guard one from Parting of Ways.
yes, with the black dome.
Oh, with the black heads.
Yeah.
Elusive figure.
They seem to have never been made as a figure.
No, they were. They came with the Ninth Doctor once, and then buggered off. I'll find you a picture because I think is it the one
I
with the
never
sword?
realised until like very recently. I never realised the ones in that episode had black heads.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and
They
it's
also
black-
have a. I don't
there's
think they have a
black
plunger either.
midsections as well.
Some of them have like claws and stuff.
Some of them
Yeah.
have the black midsection like you got on that remote control thing. Not black midsection, gold midsection, but black like skirt. And they've got a little
Yeah.
saw instead of a plunger. This is a big Dalek chat we're having. Geeking out over figures.
Yeah. Which I'm not like a massive fan of like getting like every figure there is.
oh, I don't do that. I have loads, but
I
I
don't
don't
do
get
that.
everyone.
I wouldn't dream of doing
Well,
that.
I know, like the only figures I've actually got are all of the Doctors.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
Yeah, that's
But
a
like anything else,
completable thing. I
yeah. But like the only other thing I'm fine with, like I think looks like all right displayed is just getting a bunch of Daleks.
yeah.
It's because they can stand up properly.
Yeah, and you've not got the issue of like having a face that looks dead.
Until I spoke to Dan, I hadn't bought a Doctor Who figure in like a year and a half or something.
And then I persuaded you.
I've bought 3 in the last couple of months.
My fault.
And I'm going to B&M tomorrow to scope out any second Doctor TARDISes.
Are you actually?
If my student loan comes in, yeah.
Well,
Gotta spend it
Make
wisely.
sure you get a couple and check them out because they'll be very different in like quality. Because that's just the world we live
What
in
if
now.
one has a good TARDIS and one has a shit second Doctor?
I can't
then
find
one
this
has a
figure,
shit
but
TARDIS
it
and a good
definitely
second
came with
Doctor?
a Ninth Doctor.
Did any of you ever get the Reaper figure or the Rachnos figure?
Yes.
No.
The Reaper figure had a light in it as well.
I genuinely thought Cameron was just going to pull the Reaper figure out then.
Do you know what I never ever
I can't
managed
get
to
the
get?
box anymore. It's under a table.
My Reaper tails fell off, but the rest of it's intact.
Speaking
Oh,
of
my
like,
the wings fell off mine.
speaking of like big figures and stuff, I never actually managed to see any of the Vespa form ones. You know, the builder figures.
Yeah, I
Like
never
loads
I
got
of
it.
saw
people
them,
after
but
those
I
now.
already had those.
Loads of people are after that wave just because they want that Vespa form because the chances are they'll never re-release it. But people are
Yeah.
paying crazy money to get their hands on them. It's like it's just a big wasp.
They also did one for the Gelf, I think. Because I've got the flame body of a Gelf or something.
Oh yeah, that was one of the You can build
The weirdest one.
spirit or whatever.
The weirdest one was the one with the K1 robot in it. But, like, you could get parts of it in modern figures, I think.
Yeah.
I was
That
like,
was awesome.
What? I was like, what is this? As a child. Now, of course, it's right there. Not that one, like, that's a statue.
Yeah. But
The only thing like that I ever went for was like where it's like you get a figure and then a bit of another thing.
Yeah, the builder
Was-
stuff.
Yeah,
the-
after
K1 robot was a good wave. That was the first one they did, I think.
well, it was after I went. I must have been like 10 or 11. After I went to the Doctor Who experience with my dad, and I got like a the Daleks from season 5, the
Paragon, yeah.
drone.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the word I can think of. That came with like a face of the Pandorica.
Yeah, they had the DVD thing where you built the
Yeah,
Pandora
they
set.
were.
That was so
Yeah,
cool.
they were like audiobooks
Yeah.
on like as the faces. And
So
then
cool.
Oh, I've got one of them. I
Just-
don't know what
yeah.
it is. Oh.
with just one weekend, me and my dad spent a whole day going between different Argoses in
Just
my
complete-
hometown. Yeah, and like,
cool.
oh, which ones of these do you have?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have the Pandorica now.
The
only
audios
thing
actually
from
have
them
like
I
Matt
never
Smith and
saw-
stuff in too, I think.
was the chair?
The river song with the chair.
Yeah, I never saw that anywhere.
No.
In fact, I don't think I ever saw, apart from the Silence in the Library River Song, a River Song figure anywhere.
The problem is
Does
I never cottoned on that there were like Toys R Us exclusives and B&M exclusives and stuff until I was like at least 16. So, which was when I wasn't even collecting them until like probably a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I just kind of, if they were in a shop, I'd want them. I never knew where to look for them or anything. I just knew Forbidden Planet would have them, and every now and then I'd happen to be in a B&M and there'd be some, or I'd happen to be in an Argos and there'd be in a big bin.
Around
Yeah, I was kind of late to the party.
around Series 6, which is when I got into Doctor Who, I used to buy like loads of figures. But me dad found out that B&M sold them, and they used to have like Series 5 figures for like £4. So like I used to just buy them
That's
all
how
the
I
time.
got my Smiler and my Silurian. I think they were like
Same.
reduced to like £3, weren't they?
Lad,
That's great.
I have one Christmas, yeah. My dad got me a Silurian, and I already had a Silurian and Restic, and I was like, that's the worst one I could have double of because they just don't stand up.
No,
Like
yeah.
to this day, it's slotted in between two Daleks with like the plungers like that, keeping it stood up.
I would,
Yeah, they just
I would
don't
put
stay.
blue tack on the bottom of the feet.
I remember the arm fell off mine immediately, and there's
just-
there's a massive blob of super glue on it still now from when I got my mum to fix it.
My ninth Doctor arm fell off from the 11 Doctors collection.
That's
So that's super
when
glued
they
on.
just break straight out the box.
Yeah,
Luckily,
well,
I've
it went
not had
straight
that
out the
happen much.
box. It was just
The
a loose arm,
Orphan
and then it came
figures
off.
are really annoying as well because my ones, on both of them, the hands have broken, so they're like held together with plasters. Because I think my granddad fixed them and thought, this is skin colored, and just wrapped a plaster on the hand.
Oh,
It
is the-
annoys me that the Roman Orthon figure doesn't have the hand thing, you
I
know.
don't have any of that stuff though. For some reason, I've kind of gone back and when I started collecting again not too long ago and just getting odd ones here and there, I've not actually got. I've got barely any modern series stuff. I'm looking around now and it's all classic series.
The Roman for me is the one that came with the Pandorica set. That was one of them.
I found this the other day in my collection. Just like I had it in a box.
Oh, do you want to describe what it is for the
For
listeners?
those listening,
Yeah.
this is a Corsair cube.
With the
What is it? The Messenger cube? Is that the
yeah.
Yeah.
name? And it lights up and glows red. when
Now
you
it
slap
changes colours.
Oh, it goes blue as well. Slap on, slap off. Slap on.
Do you think that's enough figure talk for this episode?
Probably.
No, I think
Yeah.
I could do a whole episode like this.
Honestly, I could, but
Right.
That's
we
for
do have
another
episodes
time.
to talk about.
Put it in the episode suggestions.
We should do a wish list
To be
episode.
fair,
Oh, that'd be
it'll
great.
be,
That'd be great. We could do like a dream wave thing where we talk about what.
Yeah.
We want. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that then.
Add
That'd
that,
be
add
like
that to the list.
episode after next. We'll do that.
So that was the last bit of news for me. Do you want to move on to the episode?
Yeah.
No, we have more news.
Shut
Oh,
up.
for fuck's sake, what is it now?
Me and Dan got engaged.
Happy
I'm joking.
birthday.
I don't remember this.
You said yes, Dan, in my head, and that's good enough for me.
Oh, it's one of those.
I'm
Just,
joking.
Paul, do you think that joke was of a sufficient quality enough to stop the podcast to make it?
I don't. I'm not even fully paying attention because I'm typing something. I don't know why I
Fucking useless.
So, the Three Doctors.
The
What was
Three
everyone's
Doctors.
thoughts going into the episode? Like, have everyone seen it before, or...?
This was like my fifth
Oh.
rewatch of the Three
I
Doctors.
thought at least Richard Turnbull's not in it.
For God's sake.
I hadn't seen it before. A lot of the classic Who stuff we're watching. It's my first time going in.
Yeah, same.
So
I wasn't.
did you know much about it going in? Did you see
I knew it was
clips
like 10th
before?
anniversary and it's the first Three Doctors. And I wasn't really thinking about it much in the week. And then it dawned on me, like, what this must have been like in 1973, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1973. Like, people, like, the same age as I was when Dave the Doctor came out would have been feeling exactly the same way.
Yeah.
And then I just got really, really excited the day before I watched the episode. It's like, oh my god! But they're going to talk to each other, and I've never
Just
seen that before.
imagine, like, growing up watching the second Doctor, and you grew so attached to him, and then he changed, and then you couldn't go back and find his episodes that well, and then he's here on your screen again, and he's in colour, and it's like that must be so weird.
Yeah.
His entrance is perfect as well.
Great when he
When
fades
he
in.
grabs the flute.
Absolutely adorable effect.
That's so good.
Like,
He's adorable, Patrick Troughton.
like
He's
Dan,
so funny.
I'd also seen this episode quite a lot growing up because I've got it on DVD. Like, I got it for like £1 in a CEX once, along with the 5 Doctors.
Mm-hmm.
CX is
And
great for
the
classic Who
Five
DVDs. You can get stuff. You can get like the
Even
King's
modern Who
Demons for
DVDs.
£2.
Yeah.
Like, all but the Jodie series, and like series 5, and then I think the last Capaldi one I got from CEX.
That's where I found a lot of my Blu-rays
But-
for the new series in.
I couldn't find series 5 anywhere, even like the ones in London near my sister, and then by that point they hadn't come out yet, so I had to get them. Bit of news, I pre-ordered the DVD for Revelation of the Daleks,
Oh hell yeah!
the
Can
New
we
Year
do that?
special. Yeah, it's
Give
on
me a
Amazon
second.
pre-order already.
Well,
You can get
on
I got
this
an email
Thrilling
recommending
Entertainment.
the Blu-ray.
Do you know what? It was amazing from Patrick Troughton. This is the first episode I've seen him in, by the way.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Yeah, we've not
I've-
done a
I've-
second Doctor yet.
So I'm
Yeah,
working
same.
my way
I've
through
only
the
seen.
first Doctor.
I think the only solid second Doctor story I've seen is Tomb with the Cybermen
Have we not done a second Doctor one yet?
and the invasion.
No,
I thought we
no,
had.
we've not done a second Doctor or a sixth or a
We
seventh.
haven't done the eighth Doctor.
So I think that should be a.
Oh, what my I think.
Watching the movie should be a.
Remember,
thing.
I said I had a suggestion for after we reached episode 50 and had no more specials. I think it was we watch the Cushion movies on episode 60 and 70, and then the McGann movie on episode 80. I think. But yeah, anyway, there's a bit where the second Doctor is just dead eager to play his flute, isn't he? The bit where Joe says something about the Beatles, and he's like, "Oh, what's your favourite song?" And he puts it up to his mouth, and the third Doctor just gives him like a death glare. Oh,
It's a real. It is a real shame about
No, any wings?
how William Hartnell appears.
Sorry.
Martin Gary, I can always spot a newbie.
Role model.
It's a real shame about how William Hartnell appears in this episode.
But it's also a miracle.
Really, it's a medical marvel. He's there at all.
My
Yeah.
mate Ed told me that he wanted to be on set, and his wife was like, "No, Will, you'll
Yeah.
die." So instead he filmed it in his back garden.
Yeah, like,
No.
if you no,
He didn't.
Well, he filmed
The
the
promo-
outside bit there.
No, the promotional photos were done in the garden, so Troughton and Pertwee went to his house and in costume and everything, and they did all the photos there. But his
that's
actual
amazing.
scenes were filmed at the BBC Ealing studio.
Was that in the like rafters? Not the rafters. What's the word?
BAFTAs.
Rafters.
It would be the rafters, yes, but I think it was just a low camera.
Yeah, the stage stair things you get in
Yeah.
studios. Yeah. God,
But,
yeah, no,
yeah.
it's unfortunate.
He was like,
It's so
"Hello,
nice that
dear
he was in
boy.
it
It's
still.
just me, William Hartnell." And I
yeah.
am
If you haven't seen it, he basically only appears in just
On
a
a webcam.
recording. Yeah, on a recording that
Yeah.
everyone looks at a screen and they go, "Hello, William Hartnell on a screen. We're talking to you."
I don't
And that's how you-
That was
Yes,
actually
my
recorded
boy.
afterwards, though.
Was it? How did they?
So
They had the script.
What,
it
no,
was- I think
fuck
it was
off.
just someone off screen, like saying, "This will be the bits here," and like maybe something on a screen somewhere saying with his words, so
yeah,
they
you can
keep
see him
track.
looking at
It
them.
weren't filmed afterwards, though.
It was.
Because I watched the behind the sofa thing earlier, and the guy who plays Benson said he can remember looking at the screen and watching William Hartnell's bits while they were acting. But he said he weren't making eye contact with William Hartnell because they were all looking at their own reflection.
I may have seen a different thing then,
But then
yeah,
he
what I
might have
thought
meant
said-
he was looking at his own reflection because he weren't on the screen, yeah. But I don't know.
yeah.
I doubt
But
if they edited it in post since they just didn't have that sort of technology.
But then you can see in certain bits, William Hartnell, it'll be looking at where the camera is and where the characters are meant to be, but then he'll keep looking down like this where his script clearly is.
Oh.
Like us at our phones.
Get off you, bro! Buddy, teenagers, buddy, these days. You're going to give them a book, then, but try and tap on it.
Yeah, it's quite a quaint opening for a special. Like if you compare it to like the Day of the Doctor, which is the most recent one.
Yeah.
This just opens on a guy in a bird sanctuary.
Yes. Well,
Just like looking at a box.
And he also, the episode ends with him as well.
Yeah.
And he's like, his wife's like, where the hell have you been? He's just like, put dinner on. It's like, okay.
You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I love how he calls her a woman.
Shut
That's
it.
just a classic thing to do.
Classic 1973.
You wouldn't believe it, woman.
Well, but it's in a similar way to Day of the Doctor. It kind of just starts for what they believe is like just another episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
We all went quiet for a bit then.
Sorry.
I
Paul
thought you
keeps
were
sending me
saying
stuff
something.
on Twitter, so...
Do I?
Yeah.
Get off Twitter, Paul.
You keep sending
We're
me
on a
stuff.
podcast.
Well,
Now you're sending me stuff on Messenger.
So there's a bit that I noted with Dr. Tyler, who's the scientist in this, who basically starts the entire plot.
Oh, he's a bit of a dickhead.
He's a bit of a dickhead, yeah.
He's a bit of a dickhead.
At the start, it's just like, have a look at these readings. Everyone's had a look at them. The Yanks, the other lot. Who are the other lot?
I imagine it's nice 1973 talk for Paul. What are you showing us?
Ah.
Looks like you fellas could use a hand.
Cameron, what is happening?
Next episode, we're going to be doing a
Cameron, what's
discussion
happening?
of role models next week.
Yeah, next episode's role models.
Lord, take me down to the
But I'm also
Cameron,
surprised they haven't
I'm really
tried.
quite scared.
Dan, let me ask you something. Do you know any
Minotaur.
Wings songs?
Who?
Uh,
Do you know any Wings songs?
no.
No.
No,
With Paul McCartney,
no,
the band Wings?
no.
No.
No one
No.
likes Kiss. Paul Stanley's sick of Kiss.
I
Don't
hate
diss the
Kissing
Star
as well.
Child.
What's happened?
Sorry,
what is
we-
this?
Sorry.
What's going on?
Do you know what I had for breakfast?
Oh
What
God,
the
what is
hell?
this going to be?
What you
Cocaine.
Was that a joke?
Yeah.
Because it was shaped a lot like a joke, but I'm not entirely sure where the
Listen, young
punchline
man,
was.
that's not your cocaine. That's my cocaine.
I live in a prison of sick thoughts.
There wasn't even a sick thought, Paul. That was just the ramblings of a man with dementia.
Dan, everything I'm saying's a quote.
Love, take me down to the streets. Can we just please get
When
back
you
on
feel like coming
What's
home,
going on?
when you
So,
feel
I'm
like coming
surprised-
home, you've got to give the dog a bone.
Right, Cameron, can we
I'm
start
surprised with
a
this
podcast by
that they
ourselves?
haven't tried retconning Dr. Tyler to be some relation to Rose. Like, I'm
Oh,
surprised.
that's weird.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised Davies hasn't tried doing that since he is this era of Doctor Who.
He's
Growing
not
up.
scum, Cameron, Jesus Christ.
Um,
He wouldn't stoop so low as to make such a big finish move like that.
well, I don't know. It's just it feels like this is one of those shows where if someone's got a last name, it's the same as someone else in the show. They're a relation.
Yeah.
Like even if it's not even said in the show, like the guy
Mickey
in
and Sarah.
Like every member of unit in
Modern Who,
Yeah.
and the guy in the Landlord one with David Suchet is apparently Harry Sullivan's grandson.
Yeah, he was meant to be
Oh,
revealed. His last
wow.
name was Sullivan.
Yeah,
Yeah, we spoke about that the other week.
yeah, we did.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
Why have you got a picture of Nardo on your screen?
It's the Parasite one.
I'm
there's
quite
also-
scared and confused.
Speaking of Nardo, I had a Nardo video.
No,
this week.
no,
Oh,
no.
what? Stop it, Paul. Stop it.
Love taking me down to the streets.
Do you actually want to talk about Doctor Who?
That's what I'm here for.
About role models.
I've never seen it.
Are
Fuck
you
up.
ready? Gonna go on what to make some s'mores using some white chocolate.
What are you doing?
I love that bit. I love that
Do you
bit
realise
so
all
much.
of this that you have to do is just more
He's like,
work
oh,
done
I'm
in editing?
not sure if I
He's
agree
not-
with that.
Dan is not going to edit this out. Don't.
Is it that bit where
Who
he's
wants
like,
to sniff this bush?
when he's like, not sure if I agree with that, but okay.
Yeah.
It's just
Do
like,
you know the bit where they're in the room and she's teaching them how to hug a kid, and he's like, obviously we're not meant to butt fuck these kids, and that guy's in the background just looking proper mortified.
To any listeners hoping for a discussion of the Three Doctors,
I'm so
I
sorry.
can
I call
Quite
myself a
frankly.
booby watcher.
only apologise for what is quite frankly not content, and
Well,
It's-
it is content of a sort.
it is content of shit. It is
20 venti.
it is
It's called Venti because it's
Barely.
20 ounces.
barely
Venti,
pieced together,
20.
Is that true?
half thoughts, half idea. These aren't jokes. These aren't just shouting nonsense words.
Dan, I think you're
I think-
getting a bit off topic. Do you want to?
I think we're witnessing two people having a stroke live on a podcast.
Oh God.
Hello.
Let me ask you a question, a serious question.
Right, just one more question, then we'll carry on talking about Omega or something.
Do you like Coca-Cola? I like. the
I'm
idea
gonna
that
kill
everyone
you.
actually like it.
I'm gonna kill you to death.
Oh, these chicken fingers, they look so delicious. No, 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 no.
Right, shut up now.
You were the one who said you wanted to talk about the episode in order as well.
Me, I haven't started talking about
Can
it.
we
I
mute
started
Paul?
talking about a film.
Doctor Who,
Yeah.
a
The
TV
fuck
show.
is that thing? The like
No,
weird
don't
blob thing.
engage. Oh, right, the blob thing. Right, yes.
The blob thing that turns up out of like the sink.
It was antimatter or something.
It was anti.
No, it was a bridge.
Oh, it was a bridge. No, I
Yes,
thought that it was. Oh,
No,
okay.
I actually mean, what is it? What did they film to get that? I couldn't
Oh,
find
yeah,
it
'cause
anywhere.
it was quite an interesting effect.
Oh, do you know the guy who plays Benton?
Yeah.
Jordan behind the sofa thing when they were watching it. That bit came up and he went, "That's a bit naff, innit?" And I was like, "All right."
I don't know, Mike. If I had to guess, it would be because there's one time when it comes out of the radio when it's clearly being filmed over a still. It's not actually a video.
Yeah.
So like the background is a still image. I imagine they're doing. It's not in camera. They'll be.
It looks a bit
I've
like
actually got no idea. I've got no idea. I don't know
It
what
looks
I'm
a bit like
talking
the light
about.
source thing from the opening.
Dan, could you move back from your mic just about 5
Dan,
centimeters?
It seems
That's
to me like you're clearly on some sort of drugs, and if someone
Paul.
offers you drugs,
Paul,
say
don't
no
do this.
thanks. I'll have
Paul,
to
don't do this.
Minotaur.
So
taste the
there's
beef.
also a bit in the first episode, because I'm still doing it, how Paul asked about the Brigadier saying Unit is a
The
top
Brigadier.
facility, yet they have a giant sign outside the front door saying Unit headquarters, Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart.
To be fair, it's
I
in the
do-
middle of nowhere.
I do love Brigadier in this episode.
He is brilliant.
He's
Jambalin.
just absolutely had enough of everything.
Yeah.
I didn't. Is that what he's like in all of Classic Who? Just
Mostly, yeah.
Not-
He is-
A bit reluctant. In Pertwee's first season, he really does some stuff that you think, oh, I wouldn't. He's very
Is he-
militant and
yeah.
I mean,
I had enough.
he lightens up
spoiler
towards
alert, he
the
blows
end.
up the entire Silurian base
Yeah.
against the Doctor's wishes. So that creates a bit of Paul. Please just
not
stop.
engaging.
Paul is holding up his iPhone with a picture of a character
What?
from Role
How
Models.
dare
It's a
you?
picture of Keegan
It's a
Michael Key.
Samsung.
Oh, it's a Samsung. I'm sorry. I bet you won't
Great.
sleep at night now.
Paul, why
Although
are
it
you
is
showing,
cracked, so I see your mistake.
Paul, why are you showing us a picture of Keegan Michael Key from whatever fucking
that-
nonsense you're talking
Do you know what? Do you know what he's doing right now? He's gonna go on a word to make some s'mores using some white chocolate.
I'm not sure if I agree with that. But,
Can we mute Paul?
There are a few throwbacks in this that I noticed in the first episode.
Episode 2. No, I'm joking.
Shut the fuck up.
Episode
Yeah,
1 got
so-
8.3 million views.
That thing that's gonna be a bit. That's my trivia section, you dick. I do have that written down though somewhere.
I knew it. Oh,
It is part of the trivia. Yeah, there's some callbacks, like the Doctor saying, "When I say run, run," it's a line
Yeah.
used by the second Doctor a lot.
Run like a rabbit.
that's a reference to the episode Rose.
It is as well when he says run.
Yes.
It's also a reference to
The 11th hour
Can't
when he
think
says
of one.
basically run.
yeah.
And how convenient is it that Bessie got taken away only to be used later in the quarry?
The
Just
quarry.
that's all of the things it could have taken.
That
they
wasn't a
were
quarry.
in
That
their
was
mind.
that was a
quarry.
wasteland. That was an alien place.
Does Bessie remind anyone else of Brum?
Like a
It's
big Brum.
Very similar roads.
Yeah. Like a shit Brum.
Not got a face, has it?
Yeah.
Nah.
Doesn't drive. I only recently figured out he was called Brum because it's set in Birmingham, and he's a Brummie.
Fuck off. Is that
I-
true?
I thought
Yeah.
it was just that was the
Yeah,
noise
that-
that children
that
did
is
when they
something
were
I've
doing a
heard.
car
I'm gonna
noise.
have to time code this. This is a segment worth listening to. That's
Yeah,
actually.
Brum
it's
talk.
filmed in Birmingham.
So he's called Brum not because cars go Brum, but because he's
Well,
a
it's
Brummie.
a pun.
It's
It's
a
a
double.
pun.
Yeah.
It's a Brum pun.
Double entendre.
What the fuck?
Someone on my Twitter was talking about Brum the other day. They said they're rewatching it because they've added it to BBC iPlayer. And I thought, surely Brum, as an adult, does not have
Doesn't hold up.
the plot that you need to binge Brum.
It's great if you're 3 years old and you
No,
want to
the
watch a
one
car.
with the balloons
drive
is
around
very
causing
I
mischief.
don't remember any of the plot. I just remember he'd be parked somewhere and then he'd fuck off for a bit. And then he'd have to go back maybe.
One of my friend's teachers, because she grew up around Birmingham, is in the opening titles to Brum apparently.
Get it on the podcast.
Get it on the pun.
The Brumcast.
Brum
Brumcast.
episode.
Yeah. What Doctor Who is what we were talking. Yes.
Bessie.
There's a point where Benton climbs in through a window. I've got that in my notes.
When the like unit base is like zapped away to the antimatter
Yeah.
realm.
Yeah.
And we just see it falling into a black hole.
Well, yeah, but like the end of that episode, where it just kind of zooms in on a unit man's face. And I think it's meant to be like he's got a face of like terror. He's like, "Oh my god, what's just happened?" But the expression he's got is really just, "I have had enough today. This is too much."
This
Well, it's like
episode's
the
actually
unit-
a prequel to the Rings of Atherton.
What?
I've walked in universes where the laws of physics are devised by a madman.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
This episode was made in reference to that.
This episode was
This
made
was-
as a prequel. It's a
What did you
fine-
think of? Get the fly.
No, it's a fine.
Eat it. More protein. What did you think of Omega?
It
I
was
love him.
alright.
What a boom on voice
It's
he
never
had.
Omega reference.
It's never Omega, it's always Omega.
Yeah.
Was that anything?
I mean, you can see
Omega
his mouth
or
moving through the
Omega.
helmet.
What are you talking about, Cameron? He doesn't have a mouth.
Exactly. That's why I
He's got-
wrote it down for the continuity errors.
So
Just
in this
for any
scene,
listeners at home,
clearly see the TARDIS is off colour.
any listeners at home, Dan is recreating the bit where Omega takes off his helmet with his Omega figure.
What-
With his penis.
Paul hasn't mentioned the music that played earlier on in the episode.
Oh, do you know when when
No,
Brum
he's not.
pulls up? Do you know when Brum pulls up? It plays the maddest. Honestly, I've never heard any music like it. It was like dubstep, but for the happy people. I don't know.
Dubstep, but for happy people.
Yeah, wait there.
That's
You might
good.
get
Is
it
that
cutting out, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Stop giving Omega a blowy.
Well, he did say he was going to take off his helmet, Cameron.
He's flexible. Look at
That was a very flexible action
that. This is a
figure.
very underrated figure, I think.
I
Why
was
do action
actually
figures
so
always have
angry.
that
Why did they
action.
sculpt all of that? What was the point?
Looks nice.
Could have
When
gave him
people
any legs.
inevitably lifted the dress up,
They got the actor's corpse out and modelled the legs.
I don't think he's dead.
I
Good.
think he was wearing something on his legs. I think that's what the actor's legs look like. He just has no pants on under the robe. What do we think
There's a
about... Oh, sorry, go on.
There's also a bit in that I've got in my notes. A Gallifreyan, I think it's the Chancellor, looks very surprised when he gets told about Newton's third law.
Oh, he's got excellent sideburns.
Yeah.
That was my main takeaway from that scene, was that Time Lord's face.
Do you know what was very, very interesting? Do you know
This better be
Omega
about
keeps
Doctor Who.
referring to the Doctors people as the Time Lords, yeah. Which is no, I'm joking. It's not a reference to the end of time. But
You gave up then,
no,
didn't you? Gave up on
I
that
weren't.
bit.
I weren't gonna say that. But then, as I was getting to it, I thought, but no. So
Yes, because whenever making a joke, you have to abort it halfway through after doing the setup.
I lost faith. But I weren't
You-
setting
you
it up
do-
either. That's why it was shaky.
You do
But,
often lose faith in your bits, don't you, Paul?
Yeah, basically what I was saying, normally Jordan Sachs, basically what I was saying was, do you know, Omega keeps referring to them as Time Lords like he isn't one, because he said that he got trapped before they became Time Lords, which makes me wonder,
Yeah.
can Omega regenerate?
Uh,
Or is he just not a Time
guess
Lord at all?
if
But we
he's in
do
the
see him in the
universe of
Timeless
his-
Children. So
If he's in the universe of his will, then yeah, sure, because he will will himself to regenerate, and the laws of his universe command it.
does he know about regeneration yet? I think no, in the Timeless Children it said they discovered regeneration and then the
Well, he was
ability
supposed to be
Yeah.
one of the three figures, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
Did we
Omega
see him?
Rassilon and the other.
it's Omega,
not the other,
Rassilon, and
Tachyon.
Tachyon.
but even if we're going on stuff before that, like wasn't the origin of regeneration meant to be because they stared into the time vortex?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Tempered schism.
what I'd say that's
There's a-
better.
presumably at some point.
There's a simple explanation to all of this. Different writer,
Yeah.
different rules.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean, like, surely at some point in discovering time travel, he probably had a look in there, just a little peek into the untapped schism.
Well, do you know?
He
I
probably
don't think
just
time travel was
had
around
a little
for him because he
well, no, because he invented it.
was working on the black hole
Just assume it wasn't around
And
because
then
it hadn't been written.
he got
into it.
trapped in the black hole.
Yeah.
But those three figures, not action figures, the three people.
They just used action figures.
Originally,
Right, a Sea Devil.
originally, Chris Chibnall. There was one with a really long neck. That Chris Chibnall was going to call them Tecte-un, Tecte-deux, and Tecte-trois.
I can't tell if that was an actual fact or you trying to make a joke.
It was genuine.
Is it a real fact?
Is that actually true?
No, you
Fuck's sake.
absolute fool.
Well,
Right, don't try and pretend you've got us when none of us can tell if you're actually making a joke.
imagine that.
Well,
My name
That's
is
how I get you.
Tecte-toi. Dr. Key.
yes.
Oh, yeah, book it.
The Doctor's on Gallifrey with his mates in that weird barn, and he's going Tecte-toi, Tecte-toi, Rosimont.
Je déteste les Daleks. Tecte-toi. If you haven't listened to Dr. Key on YouTube, check it out. By Bill Bailey. It's very funny.
James Acaster's a good comedian.
No, he's not. So,
What?
Whoa.
It takes 22 minutes
Fucking
for the three
overrated.
doctors to free Doctor.
that's what it takes. What? I wasn't listening.
Takes 22 minutes for the three doctors to free Doctor.
Yeah. Not true.
Yeah. He's not in it for a while, is he? It is.
Nah.
It's all the people staring at a little pile of goo.
Yeah, and then going, ooh, what should we do?
My John Pertwee.
Perfect.
Joe, go back inside.
I'd attempt John Pertwee, but I've never tried that
Do it.
properly.
Do it now,
I
do it.
imagine your John
Impressions.
Pertwee
You're
will
forgetting
sound
this
exactly the same
counts.
as Colin Baker.
Well, this
We've got
means
to reverse the pledge here, the new song flow. Is episode 2 the one where we meet Omega? No, it weren't.
No,
was episode 3 because I
2
watched
is
that
the
one
one
today.
that my first note about it is like, Unit is meant to be about science and research and protecting the world from alien threats. Benton, get me a grenade! Because it's just like, oh yeah, let's just launch a grenade at this thing that we
Yeah.
don't know.
I'm also
shows-
amazed.
It shows the
Amazed
difference
that,
between modern and classic.
Yeah, I'm also amazed that no one in Unit. See, like, apparently, no one in Unit has just gone into the Doctor's weird blue cupboard he keeps in his room.
Yeah. Well, no, because he apparently keeps it locked all the time, and the key only works for him.
Ah,
That's the thing from Pertwee's first episode.
right.
Where he was looking for his shoes.
Because the key was in it.
Shoes.
Yeah, and Benton really doesn't care that it's bigger on the inside. It's just like,
Makes
No,
sense.
what else was it meant to be, Doctor?
He looks full of wonder and whimsy.
Wonder or whimsy.
There is a scene with Benton and the second Doctor, though, that I've got. It
that's amazing.
it makes you realise that Benton is there. His lines and character bit during this is part of it was meant to be for Jamie, because Fraser Hines was originally meant to return for this, but couldn't due to his commitment on the then titled Emmerdale Farm. So his role was given to
He's
Benton.
still into this? No, he's dead.
No, it's not. Which was given to Benton, and then Benton's character traits were given to a newly made character who was the private who, as Dan said earlier, had a close-up on his face at the end, and it's just like, I am so done with this. Never seen before, and never seen again.
Yep.
I do not remember this character.
Exactly.
This private.
It wasn't like it was just a
he
guy
died?
at one of the end of episodes where you just got a reaction shot off him. That's all it was.
He later is the person the Brigadier tries to contact on the radio. So,
Oh yeah.
and there's a line that, taken out of context in this, could sound like the Brigadier being like a trans ally, which is, as long as he does the job, he can wear whatever face he wants. Which, taken out of
Yeah,
context,
I'm
That's
sure
what
that
you
was
could- yeah.
exactly the intent.
Death of the author. It means what it wants.
William Hartnell was there like, yes, my boy, I've always craved a vagina.
Chesterfield, trans rights. Yes, Chesterfield, trans rights. Yes.
I can actually do that.
You can,
Learn
you've
it,
got the
Jacob.
collar. You got the touch.
I've forgotten what else happens in this episode.
The
Let's
doctor.
go
I
from
can't
an-
remember.
Stop.
You get
stop
the
that,
Omega
man.
reveal, don't you? Episode 3.
There is
As
a
I
bit
call
with
him,
the
oh my
Doctor and
God.
Joe Grant in this episode where they walk down a embankment in Omega's universe, and it is a steeper rock face than they struggled to climb in Curse of Peladon.
Tell me, where could I find your thoughts on Curse of Peladon?
well,
Last week's episode or the week before,
I
but it can be
don't
found
know.
at
I actually
youtube.com.
can't
Well, last week
I
was.
don't know if you
And
know this,
wherever
Dan.
you can listen
Episode
to
8,
your
go
podcast.
back and listen to episode 8. Not right now.
Or don't.
But-
No, dude, because
Eh.
that was a good one, wasn't it?
It was good though.
Yeah, that was quite alright. We didn't
This
go
one's
off
not
on
been
topic
bad.
as much.
With a bit of
Apart
editing,
from all
this
of
one
the
will
bits
be
we
fun.
did earlier.
2 episodes sandwiching it that turned out like shit. That gives me at least below.
Benton is
That gives
very
me
out of
the 3
character
doctors.
for this. Like I said earlier, his role was for Jamie, but watching Classic Who, Benton acts a lot differently in this one to what he does in all of his other appearances. He's very gung-ho and right, let's just blow the shit out of this thing in this episode.
It's a real Mission Impossible 1 to Mission Impossible 2 character change.
Yeah, but then he goes back again at the end.
Right.
I like the bit with the second Doctor where he meets him, and he's like, you're a sergeant or whatever now," and he's like, yeah.
Corporal, nah, sergeant now.
Army
Oh,
lights,
the
innit?
bit when the Brigadier comes back and he says, "Oh yeah, I've told them you're his companion."
And it's just like, what?
Troughton is really good at this. It's not a surprise.
You can tell he's really missed being in the role.
Yeah,
He's so
that
much
sense.
fun.
Right, so
That scene
Dan,
makes
you
that
were
whole episode
studying
work.
some form of science at university, correct?
Yes,
Mhm.
physics. Yes.
Yes, I
Yes.
was. Physics, yes.
The science of
So,
the female
Ask
body.
me anything.
Go on.
Dr. Tyler, when they discover him in Omega's universe, is writing in the E equals MC squared. Does that have
Sure
anything to
about
do with cross-dimensional
No,
travel?
it's just warm-ups. It's just a warm-up. He's just getting
Yeah, it's
into
just-
it.
He's practicing.
We used to do it in
here's
school
the
all the
thing.
time.
I took a video of that because that whole thing we were just talking about. Yes, E equals MC squared. We can be sure about that. I took a video of that and sent it to the group chat for my physics course. Just because it was ridiculous. What else does he say? He says something about, well, we've definitely travelled faster than light or something.
Yeah.
Which is, I think they've realised that the C in E equals MC squared is the speed of light in a vacuum, and they've gone, well, that must apply in this situation.
And does it?
Well, what is it? I'm not entirely actually sure what he's trying to work out.
No, I'm not either. That's why I'm asking.
He's just doing his homework.
He's just doing a bit of relativity homework. That's all it is.
He was like, well, I was going to head to the beach to do me sums. So, well, I'm here.
Might as well do them in this quarry-esque landscape.
Well, let's see. A lot of the talking is about black holes and
That gives me a beef below.
Matter and antimatter.
yeah, antimatter. All the stuff they're talking about with if antimatter and matter come into contact, they'll annihilate. That's all sound
If
physics.
antimatter and Uncle Matter get together.
We end up with cousin matter, who's a little Brit.
Yeah,
Brit bit.
weirdly enough, that stuff also kind of comes up in.
I feel like we just learned a lot about Cameron then. Cameron hates his cousins.
Podcast subject.
Nah, they're alright, they're sound most of the time.
So that stuff also comes up in Tenet, really weirdly.
Nothing comes up in tennis. It's the biggest load of shit ever. They don't
Shut
explain
up.
anything.
No,
They genuinely
like,
say, don't think about it. Shut the fuck up, tennis.
I never said. Shut up. It's like some of the ideas in that are that. So here's a bit of physics for you.
Oh.
One of the ideas that Richard Feynman, great physicist, has put forward, or did put forward, he's dead now. You're falling asleep. Is that antimatter? Or you can think about matter being exactly the same as antimatter, but antimatter is traveling backwards in time. Because when you're drawing Feynman diagrams and stuff, it would be exactly the same, functionally exactly the same in all of the equations. You could replace a positron on an equation with an electron that's traveling backwards in time, which is what Tenet's about. And they're also talking, don't touch your previous self in Tenet,
Cheeky.
because technically you're made of antimatter, so you annihilate if they touch.
Sorry to interrupt this really interesting
I finished.
little thing, but Paul has just put a sleep mask over his eyes that says, "I'm listening to a Big Finish production."
That is, quite frankly, the worst
And
thing
he's
ever.
put what looks like a nappy over his mouth.
It's a face mask.
Okay, sure.
Do you know what?
Just to add on-
Campus face mask, right?
Do you know what?
Just to add on
Bear
to
with me.
Dan's physics
Go on.
bit, next
on.
week I will go on a tangent about making roulade because that's what I've got qualifications in.
What the fuck is roulade?
Swiss roll.
But you'll learn about that
Why
next
not
week.
say Swiss roll then?
No, we'll
Because
cover
it's
this
called a
next week.
roulade.
We'll
Fuck
cover
off.
this
I'm not
next
having
week.
that.
Oh, do you know what? Actually, E equals MC squared would come up if you're trying to figure out what the energy release would be.
No, I
Because
think he was just trying to work out how he travelled.
Oh yeah, he
Where
is.
he is.
But because that universe is made of antimatter and they're made of matter, and when they come in contact, they annihilate and release energy. E equals MC squared is what you would use to figure out the energy release in that situation of an annihilation. Because annihilation really is you got a particle and its antiparticle flying at each other, and they annihilate, and all of the matter is turned into energy. And you calculate that energy, by timesing the mass of the particles by the speed of light squared. That's what equals mc squared is.
So if anyone's still
Yeah.
listening,
So what's our homework?
congratulations.
Listen, I want to feel like I'm clever because I'm losing my mind at the moment.
Well, I'm sure if it didn't just go over all our heads, we would be applauding you right now. But I have
Thank
no
you.
idea.
Oh,
I
wait,
understood some of it.
Dan, you know how to applaud them, don't you?
Don't do
What's
it.
this?
Fucking roll
God
So-
relationships
fucking
again.
damn it.
I've
Hey,
got a
that's
thing
the
about
physics over.
what the two different doctors do during this. Like, John Pertwee's third doctor sort of advances the plot a bit. They go and find Omega's cave and stuff. Second doctor fixes the radio.
Plays the flute.
And also shows that the TARDIS is broken. Yes,
Oh yeah.
because there's a bit where he steps out of the TARDIS and you can see directly behind his shoulder that the
It's
TARDIS
the
panels
thing,
aren't
yeah.
connected properly.
What?
Paul,
Stop
stop
it,
it.
Paul. What else? I did like. I remember I liked the conclusion to the episode, but I can't quite remember what it is at the moment.
They all go their separate ways.
No, but like
That's just a thing that happens. That's not the.
that's not the conclusion to the story, Paul. You rube.
They
They
save the.
drop the recorder, and because it's made of matter and not antimatter, the whole universe dies.
Annihilation. That's what it is.
And then the
Please
doctor
tell
feels
us
a bit
more
sorry
about
for him
Annihilation.
because he just wanted his freedom.
With Natalie Portman.
That's a great film, and I need to finish it still. I got to the bit with the crocodiles, like this is great, and then I just stopped watching it.
That is a great. There's a great video
Crocodiles?
essay by Do you know
By
Dan
Dan
Olson?
Shooks.
No, Dan Olson, Folding Ideas. He's got a great video deconstructing Annihilation. You should all go and watch. Dan Olson is great. He's got a great
I'll
YouTube
watch
channel.
Annihilation, and when I've finished it, I will go and watch that video.
Thank you.
Not. In
So-
I don't know when then. Oh, for God's sake, Paul.
What was everyone's thoughts on John Pertwee's fight scene in this story then?
Oh my god, lad, that was so shit. Oh, it was
Does
in
he-
slow motion and it was almost entirely silent.
I completely forgot about
In the
that.
mind of
with the
Omega.
weird goblin man.
Yes.
That could have been a
What?
regular man and they paid money to have it be not a man.
What was
I
that?
have-
What choice? Who made that decision?
I have
a
in my notes,
genius
the
of
dark
their
side
time,
of
I'm
Omega's
sure.
mind looks fucking stupid.
Yeah, he's a really odd. I enjoyed this episode, but I did not enjoy that bit. It's a really unpleasant piece of viewing. It's really. There's not even a fight. It's just kind of them like moving in a circle.
Grappling and
It's so weird.
Yeah,
Rolling.
grappling in a circle with a weird little goblin boy.
in dark, in a
comes from
black sound
nowhere.
set with no one else there. Like a green laser or something. Come on, lads.
Weird Little Goblin Boy was my nickname at school.
It still is, isn't it?
Mine was Psycho
I bet.
for
For
obvious,
obvious
reasons.
reasons.
Either
I
no.
didn't have a nickname in school.
Because
Oh no, I
one
did.
likes you.
Some lads in school used to call me Homer.
Homer.
You know
Oh,
why?
yeah.
'Cause-
Is that because you
No.
wrote the
it's
odyssey?
because I
It's
used to
because you
fancy
used
a
to
girl
just-
who had blue hair.
Yeah.
So they used to see me talking to her, and they'd walk past and go, "Do," and it was. I'd always have to explain why to her, and it was dead embarrassing.
Also,
And
you
then she
worked at
turned out to be a
power plant
lesbian.
At the time.
So you know,
Moving
You
on.
missed your shot there.
heavy things.
So, one of you fine gentlemen may be able to answer me this. How does a quarry look like Chroma?
Like
What's
Chroma?
Chroma?
Chroma, it's a town in Norfolk.
Isn't
But it's
that
where the Ring of
film
Day thinks that buildings
won
travelled.
an Oscar on Netflix?
It's on the coast
I'm joking.
as well.
I could not tell you were joking.
Yeah,
I
I'm
haven't
trying to
been-
find something interesting in my notes.
I haven't been
Because-
recording.
Hey Dan,
It's a joke.
of course it is.
Of course. There we go.
Hey
Just wanted to
Dan,
get Dan's attention.
that Dan with an R.
Yes.
You see those hills over there? Boobies.
Viewer
Oh,
thoughts?
classic. Viewer thoughts.
Have you got
haven't
anything
talked
else to say about this episode?
Have we had any
Yes.
thoughts in?
Do you know when the Doctor says he always regarded Omega, and he's like, a hero? I should be a god.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, was that was your whole thought?
That is my whole thought. It was worth it.
I think my main takeaway from this episode was the chemistry between Troughton and Pertwee.
Yeah.
Like, I think it really, really carried this episode.
Hartnell's last line was dead sad.
Yeah.
How will you
Everything about
me or something? And then he
everything
died.
about Hartnell was quite
Yeah.
sad in a way.
It's quite cool how they did it, but it's also quite sad knowing why they've had to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I did find it funny though that in all multi-Doctor stories, the youngest Doctor, like in his age timeline, is
Older.
always the most mature. So like Hartnell is the youngest one there, but
Yeah.
he's the most mature. John Hurt is the most mature one and the youngest.
It's weird because
Hundle.
Hartnell's the youngest, and they're like, let's go to number 1 for advice because he's old.
Yeah,
So he
and
wants
in
to be
the
smarter.
5 Doctors, but we'll come to this when we actually talk about that episode. He's the
Yeah.
one that works out the curse of Rassilon, or the whatever it's called, first. Where you'd think the old Bree would work it out first because he's the oldest.
But the first Doctor's not in the 5 Doctors.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
He's
the
not.
whole.
Just
Just
man
because
in
it's
a
a man in a wig.
He's in the
Still the first
intro
Doctor.
scene, isn't he?
Yeah,
Is William Hartnell in the intro scene?
Yeah.
Yeah. they use part of.
Did he do a
One of them.
transition like they do in Twice Upon a Time?
Paul has
With the
many.
shitter?
Paul is renowned for having many takes on the 5 Doctors, despite never seeing it.
Nah, I just like to wind you up, Dan, because I know you like it.
It's his speech from the end of the Dalek episode with Susan.
Dalek Invasion of Earth.
Yes,
Oh, I
that
haven't
one. I
seen
couldn't
that.
remember which one it was. I wanted to say Destiny of the Daleks, but knew it was wrong. About one day I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back. But until then, there must be no tears, no regret.
That reminds
Oh
me of
my, he's an
oh,
idiot.
I do know that.
Um,
That reminds me of a quote from the 6th Doctor, actually.
Go ahead. There we
It's
go.
a hoax, my dear, and it appears not a moment too soon.
so I'll just go through my bits of trivia
Yeah.
before Paul does his crap
Yeah.
from his friends.
I thought you
This is Hartnell's
Wow.
final.
Wow, let's hear
Final
Dan's
credited
stuff from
role
IMDb
before
then,
his
shall we?
death.
Cameron's
We're
on
doing
it.
trivia, Paul. Shut up.
Wow.
Some of it's from the Wikipedia page, not just IMDb. But yeah, this is Hartnell's final appearance before his death.
We know.
His scenes, as I've said before, were filmed in the studios in Ealing and not a garage or a shed as the fan myth would have us believe, because fans are idiots. Look at us
Take
for
that,
it.
I
us.
hear that.
Fraser Hines was meant to return as Jamie, but was unavailable, so his role was given to Benton.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 main Gallifreyan characters in the command room were both in War Games, and it is to imply that they are the same characters there as they were here.
Mm-hmm.
So they kill the Doctor and then send him off to meet himself. This will make Dan happy. The viewing figures for the episode was 9.6, 10.8, 8.8, and 11.9 for the last
That's
episode.
quite a lot.
Yeah,
That is- I
that's in
suppose it's
millions.
not a mistake. Yeah.
That was
Okay.
everyone on Earth back then.
The relationship between the Doctors was enjoyed so much by Pertwee and Troughton that he went and did them offset at fan conventions. And all 3 Doctors never appear in person in the show. They're always, because one's on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the first story to feature 1 and 2 in colour. And then you mentioned a bit about Hartnell's wife. And this is the earliest story for 1 and 2 that is saved on the original recording tape, like the original master tape, because all of the ones before that were scrapped and they were saved on a different form of, I think it was a transmit tape they were saved on.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the only one on the master tape left in the BBC archives.
Oh.
And last bit, this story features a new console room, as the old one got warped in storage, and producer Barry Letts didn't like it. The old one, that was. He liked the new one. He didn't like the old one, so wanted a new one.
So at the end, when the TARDIS faded to the new one, was that like I thought it the second Doctor's TARDIS control room had emerged, and then when he left it went again. But do you know, like in Day of the Doctor did?
Yeah, no, they didn't have his set anymore.
So
He's
was it
scrapped.
just a case
would
of
they
being
both just
handled.
Pertwee's?
It was
And
just
then-
Pertwee's, yeah.
Oh right.
Which is why we get the line of, "Oh, you've redecorated. I don't like it."
Classic.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right. I forgot about
Classic.
that one.
along with the classic line by the Brigadier. All three of them, I didn't know I was well off, and also
someone says "Here we go again" as well, don't they?
I can't remember that,
I'm
but
sure
I do
Yeah.
know
someone
the
says.
Yeah,
well,
it was Mamma Mia.
Yeah,
Fuck off. That took me too long to understand where you're going with it.
there is also the Brigadier line of when the second Doctor can't find his recorder of, "Oh, if only I had my recorder, or I could play it a little something to pass the time," and the Doctor's just. And the Brigadier's just like, "Oh, we must be thankful for small mercies then."
And he says,
Everyone,
there's another line he
everyone
says,
really hates him playing it, don't
oh,
they?
it's when he says "wonderful chaps," both of them, and then later on he says all of them. When it's, I think he says it in the Five Doctors as well. There's little bits that just keep coming back all
Yeah.
the time. Some of them have stopped. Some of them haven't.
Brigadier is very sassy in this episode.
He's great.
Yeah, I do love Brigadier.
to
to Alison
me,
Lethbridge
My
brought into
head
it.
canon is that the Brigadier is a sassy gay man. I'm joking.
Great.
I'm joking.
What with his multiple
I was
children
probably
throughout
horrified,
Doctor Who canon.
Glad you clarified you were joking there, Paul.
Yeah.
So, Paul,
No, 'cause I
your
don't want
friend,
people thinking
viewer
I'm weird.
thoughts.
Yeah, should we start wrapping up with viewer thoughts?
So viewer fourth, because I only
Just
asked one
singular.
person. Yeah. So my mate Ed, he said, I always sorry.
Dress for the occasion.
Jesus Christ.
Mom, 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 mom. My mate Ed said, I always think about how exciting it must have been in 1973 watching this. Like, these are the three Doctors. We'll never get that feeling again. So exciting, and I'd argue one of the most important stories in the show's history.
Yeah,
And then he said, also, Omega is unbelievably, and I agree with everything he said.
Unbelievably what?
Good.
Cut out there.
good.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Ed.
Oh, the bit where me mate Ed didn't tell me that it was filmed in Hartnell's back garden. It was on the documentary on the Five Doctors Blu-ray, where
So
they
you
said
watched
that he
the
filmed.
documentary that came on the Five Doctors Blu-ray, but you still haven't watched the Five Doctors.
No, not the Five Doctors. The Three Doctors.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
So on the Blu-ray, there's the behind the sofa thing, and it had some writers from the previous show. So it had Pete McTeague, Joey Wilkinson, some guy whose name I can't remember. I think it might have been Phil Collinson. Talking about it, and when you first see William Hartnell when he's outside, he said that was filmed in his back garden because obviously he couldn't leave the house, so they went to his house and filmed it, and then the rest of the scenes were shot somewhere else. Because
Ealing.
Ealing, but that one scene's from his back garden apparently,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. William Hartnell's back garden's canon. Not every day you get to say that.
Should we do the randomizer then?
That watch
are
Dan
we-
just
are we
immediately
not
perk up.
talking about,
No, we're talking about something next
Oh,
week.
of
Subject.
course, yes. What are we
What is
talking
it?
about next week?
Is
Do
it
you want to
top
introduce
five?
it? Yes.
Top fives.
top
yeah.
5 new
Right,
stories.
how do we want to... We'll discuss this after we... end
Yeah,
No,
the
it's
call.
alright, we can lay it down now. The plan
It's
is...
not like there's any
The
quality
plan is
control.
you simply just get your 5 favourite. If you can't get them in a certain order, then fine.
How are
'cause
we
it is
going to say
difficult.
them, though? Like, one...
And we'll simply
one,
just
two, or
go.
five,
We'll simply
or-
just go you. So we'll all do our 5, then we'll all do our 4, and then we'll all do our 3, and we just do it like that. So it'll be. You,
I mean, I
Karen,
think
Dan.
if someone like has the same episode for 5 as someone has for 3, don't like bring it up again the second time round.
Yeah, we'll
just like, oh, I've got that for 3. Let's talk about this episode now.
it'll be quite easy to keep on top of. Just make sure you've written
Yeah.
them down, and we can tick them off. So it's simply we'll do a little honourable mentions bit as well, but that'll be next week or maybe the week after, depending on my schedule.
Yes.
Don't do an honourable mentions because there's every one of them. I'll just sit.
No, it's
I'll just sit here and just start naming like 100 episodes.
So we'll do that. That should be good.
That'll be a bit of fun.
And
Nice change of pace.
we'll do another episode after that.
And then, obviously, should we do the figure one the week after, or?
No, we'll do an episode in between. And then we can do
So-
the figure one. That sounds like a really good idea, I think.
So are we going to do like a topic and then a modern episode and then a topic and then a classic episode and then a topic?
If we've got a topic, yeah. Just see how it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
Alright.
If we're all still alive.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah.
For the 10 episodes.
Hope you enjoyed this podcast about
It's
role models.
more episodes than I ever thought we would ever.
I thought we'd probably do one and then give up.
Yeah.
So, thanks for staying around.
Who's doing the contact? How can you contact us?
You can
Email.
get in touch at Shobocast on most things, or shobocast@gmail.com, because Dan, you simply have to be on email.
You simply have to be on email these days.
You simply
I predict that by 2050, at least 40% of all business will be done on email.
I tell you what, I predict.
So you got to get in early on that technology. It's a new technology. It's you can do so much in it.
I predict
What's it
by
mean?
episode 50 we will have an email. But that's wishful thinking. Follow us on
Thank
Twitter
you for watching.
at Shinksy_, at Paul, at Cameron.
Oh,
That's not even.
I got it
in the
early with that one. I was the only Paul alive.
that'll be in the description.
We're doing bits everywhere, so you can find us through this.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for listening to
All the
both the
time.
YouTube version and the audio version, because both of
Yes.
them are doing better
Right.
than I thought.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
See you in a bit.